YouTube? That's here, bringing you guys another VGC 2017 battle. We are going up against Tyler today, who's going to be using a pseudo Trick Room team. You can see it doesn't really look like a Trick Room team until you factor in that Mimikyu has to be a setter, and Mimikyu I think is probably, other than Porygon and maybe Orangurus, probably the best Trick Room setter because its disguise can let it, buffer attacks while you try and set up your Trick Room. It has the potential to be slow, and it has pretty much a free substitute in front of it while it's activating its Trick Room, which is pretty good, but unfortunately that substitute does not block things like Sleep Powder, so Butterfree and Garchomp are just going to be able to tear through this. We're also going to be seeing really cool Pokemon like Wishiwashi and Sarina, so I'm just going to hop into this one, get right into it, and show you guys how to deal with like Trick Room teams that don't really have that many other ways of winning the game other than Trick Room. I mean, I'm sure you've seen this type of battle on my channel before, but I just want to drive this home that I think Butterfree is really, really good against any form of Trick Room, and I don't really think I've covered the like Mimikyu bulky partner option. So we see Mimikyu and Wishiwashi. Remember, Wishiwashi is the small little baby fish whose ability Schooling lets it go into like a bigger fish while it has over 25% health. I think that's how it goes. And once it's in the big fish mode, its stats just go through the roof. So what he's doing this turn is he's going to be going for a Protect with the Wishiwashi, and he's going to be trying to Trick Room with the Porygon, or sorry, not Porygon, with the Mimikyu. And what I usually do in this situation, when I have to Sleep Powder the Trick Room user, I normally go for the Sleep Powder on the Trick Room user and a big Z move with one of my 3 Z move users on the partner. So I was trying to go for a Tectonic Rage to get that Wishiwashi potentially when it KO'd, because I was assuming its full HP special attack. And look, he still took about roughly 30% from my Tectonic Rage, even though the Protect made it so it dealt like only 20%. Then we see the Mimikyu get put to sleep, and right away here, I'm feeling in a very good position. Next turn, all I really have to do is go for like an Earthquake Sleep Powder, and then we're going to break the Mimikyu's disguise. We're going to put the Wishiwashi to sleep, so everything's looking pretty good for me so far. I definitely feel like I'm dictating the play here. You see, we see the Wishiwashi get clocked into the red. We clock the Mimikyu's disguise. He kind of falls over. That's kind of funny. And in this position, at the end of the turn, if he was still in the red, he would, his Schooling would activate, and he would go back in the little baby fish form, which has like 10 base in every single stat. But he has the Citrus Berry, keeping him healthy, and I decided to go with the Sleep Powder instead of the Bug Buzz because I don't want something else like maybe Sarina coming in right now, and I wanted to just put him to sleep so then we could potentially focus on the Mimikyu. So that's what we're going to do. We have 2 of our opponent's Pokemon asleep. Mimikyu's still at full, but we see him make a really, really good play here. He goes for a Protect with his Wishiwashi, and you may be thinking, why are you doing that? It's obviously he's going to be attacking your Mimikyu anyways. Well, if he protects with the Wishiwashi and somehow lives with the Mimikyu and then wakes up in Trick Rooms, because remember, he's been asleep for 2 turns, he's either going to be asleep this turn or he's going to be, only a 2-turn sleep, which is generally what happens. I went with the EQ Bug Buzz because I was trying to break a Sash, but unfortunately for my opponent, Mimikyu is still going to be asleep, so he made a really good play. Like, that was definitely the best play, because if he got the Trick Room off, Wishiwashi would be in a really, really good position. So what we're going to be able to do here is we're just going to be able to Earthquake this one out, and we're finally going to pick up that double KO probably 5 or 6 turns into the game. I got a little bit lucky with a potential 3-turn Sleep Mimikyu. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, this is how I played it, so take it as you will. I got a little bit lucky there. Even if he got the Trick Room up at that point, he would have lost his Mimikyu, so it all balances out. So he sends out his Sarina and the Alolan Marowak here. Sarina's going to go for a Protect. I don't really know that much about this Pokemon. I don't see it all that often, but we're just going to go for big Earthquakes. And then something funny is going to happen here. You're going to see, well, I might as well just talk about it. Now, Butterfree has Compound Eyes. You may be thinking, how are you hitting all these Sleep Powders? Compound Eyes is an ability that boosts your accuracy by, what's the percent on it? By 30% or something like that? I don't really know. I'm getting like a brain fart off the top of my head, but I missed a Sleep Powder on that Marowak, and I think I have like a 98 or 99% chance to hit my Sleep Powders. Like, you never miss Sleep Powder, and I totally missed my Sleep Powder. And he got to clock my Sash. He KO'd himself with his Flare Blitz, so we're all good here. And now that the Sarina's Protect is on cooldown, we're just going to go for a big Dragon Claw, follow it up with a big Bug Buzz because we can't put a Grass Pokemon to sleep. And that is going to be the GG. So Not the most exciting battle, but we saw a bunch of really optimal plays happen. You know, I put the correct targets to sleep, I used the correct Z moves in the correct order, and we saw him go for the correct protects to be able to actually give himself a chance of getting into the game. So pretty good game overall. You know, this is pretty much how I expect, the first few rounds for regional to go. And this is, a good example of how my team works against a team who obviously uses Trick Room, but Trick Room is its only option. So normally when I like to use Trick Room myself, I have a team that has its core 4 Trick Room Pokemon, and then maybe something that has decent speed, and then maybe like a Scarf. So, like in that situation, he could lead with the Scarf thing or the relatively fast thing, take out my Butterfree, and then transition into Trick Room. Trick Room lasts for 5 or 6 turns. Once Trick Room expires, he switches back into Scarf Pokemon and gets the revenge kill for the game. So that's normally how I like to play Trick Room, for those of you guys that are wondering. I hope you guys like this battle. I hope you enjoy it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, or whatever you're going to do, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.